Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a couple of fun stories. The last one's not as fun as the first one. I'm here to give my opinions and how I feel about it as usual. I'm going to be talking about Jungkook agreeing to date a boy, which I love. And of course some internal things that are going on allegedly with Big Hit. I definitely have a lot of thoughts on that one. So if at any point you have any opinions of your own and you'd like to go down in the comments and say something, make sure you pause the video and then go down and leave your comment. This place is an open discussion for both you and me. It's not just me talking here. So if you're interested in this type of stuff and this tea that we have going on here today and you are new here, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. If you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now let's jump into it. Let's start with our little cookie baby here. He is such a cookie, like a chocolate chip cookie. This is a fun and cute story. I believe this was a story maybe a while back, but I started seeing news sources kind of talk about it now and bring it back up. So I thought I would give my opinions and my thoughts on that. Let me give some backstory so you know what's going on. The tea before the tea, as I like to say. A while back, BTS held kind of a fan meet. They hold fan meets all the time. This is not something that they've never done before. I mentioned how fan meets work before, but in case you don't remember or don't know, let me re-explain. For a lot of Korean fan meets, it's pretty different from the American fan meets. For the Korean ones, it's usually this like long table and you have each individual member kind of sitting at a chair and you kind of go down on each row and kind of meet them individually. You can meet them one by one. You can either stand or kneel down, so meet them at eye level. They're usually sitting, and basically you meet them one by one and you kind of have a moment with them, or you can give them a note, or you can just tell them how much they mean to you. I like that it is kneeling down so you can meet them in the eye. So whether our Jungkook baby happens to be very, very tall and we happen to be very, very short, we can still meet them eye to eye and have a conversation and stare deeply into my lover's eyes. With American fan meets, it's a little bit different. It's most of the time standing in front of a backdrop and you get to say like a few words and that's it. It doesn't feel as personal to me as the Korean fan meets. I've never personally been to these fan meets. I'm going off what I see online and which one I would prefer to have. My friends have been to fan meets and from what I hear, this is also their experience. And I'd be very happy to try a Korean or an American fan meet once Miss Rona over here decides to allow us to go outside and start being human again. What an interesting time we live in. But basically, BTS held one of these fan meets a while back and a boy decided to go and meet everybody, but he specifically wanted to meet Jungkook. Like Jungkook was his favorite. I don't necessarily believe he was a solo stan, but maybe he particularly just felt a connection with Jungkook. And that's usually how biases work, right? The fanboy was named Kenny, what a cute name. Kenny kind of wrote a letter and this letter was specifically written just for Jungkook. Like it wasn't meant for any of the other BTS members to see it. And on the letter, he wrote kind of a question asking Jungkook. I guess maybe he felt too shy to ask Jungkook this question out loud. Perhaps he felt ashamed as this could have been taking place in Korea. I don't know the exact location of this specific fan meet, but it looks like it could have been taking place in Korea. But another thing that makes kind of Korean fan meets so much more personal is that you can slide notes to people and they can write secret messages on them. The members can sign it. You can also gift them letters and stuff and they can read it in front of you if you want. Since the table is just right there, they're more inclined to do it as opposed to if they're standing, they're just kind of like, oh, I gotta put this down. So of course, after Kenny decided to leave the fan meet and go home, he actually ended up posting kind of a picture of the letter and what Jungkook wrote in response to what Kenny wrote. I was looking online to see if anyone could have translated this because I don't really speak any Korean. All I know is like 안녕하세요 and Ohio and that's it. God, my accent, it's just not good. I did find the translation online actually. A few news articles wrote that this particular thing that Kenny wrote was this: I am a boy, but I love Jungkook too much. Why don't you try to date with me? Honestly, something I would do, but I would bring my wedding ring there. Maybe put the receipt in there too so he knows how much I spent because I don't buy no cheap things for my baby. Imagine if Jungkook just took the wedding ring and threw it out and I'm just gonna be over here like, no baby, it's real diamonds. But surprisingly, Jungkook did respond to what Kenny wrote with a surprising thing that ARMYs found to be really cute. Jungkook wrote, courage, LOL, okay. And just like that, my baby daddy was taken away from me. My soul will never recover. Joking aside, I do think that Jungkook didn't realize he actually did something very important for the LGBT community. Probably more than he ever knew. It is very, very important that Jungkook does not shy away from these type of questions. But even the fact that he wrote courage means that he knows what the situation is going on with people in the LGBT community. He knows that it's not fair and that it's very courageous to come out and say that I'm gay. And of course, Kenny admitting that he is gay or bi is a brave thing to do. There are so many different artists that would have a completely different way of answering this question, whether it's an answer that seems kind of homophobic or an answer that would make the boy feel less adequate. But this goes to show that Jungkook, even though he is from Korea, he does not carry kind of the homophobia that some of the older Koreans may carry. It's good to know that the new generation is going to be so kind. That gay people in Korea are eventually going to have all celebrities backing them up. And the fact that Jungkook even said yes to the date means that Jungkook has no problem with the LGBT community. He welcomes gay people into his life. And this isn't just like a special thing that any celebrity can do. I mean, yes, a lot of celebrities can do this and can support the gay community, but coming from a Korean celebrity, it actually means a lot more. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure a lot of LGBT people in Korea, especially Kenny. I hope Kenny does take that note and one day takes Jungkook up on that offer. Make sure Jungkook keeps his word. I wonder what Kenny looks like though. Like maybe Jungkook, Kenny, and me. I definitely wanted to see what armies were saying about this on the Twitter. So one army wrote, honestly, he's amazing. It takes so much courage to speak out about these topics, and by doing so, he is paving the way for more idols to break the toxic stereotypes of Korean society. I adore him. I totally agree. This is an amazing message. I think a lot of entertainments and labels will start to see that. Those labels and entertainments will hopefully eventually start appreciating LGBT people and accepting them as well. I don't think laws will change just because of this, but it does take a brave action of a valuable person to make change. That's a pretty good quote. I think I just made that up. And a lot of people can actually get into a lot of trouble for this. But this seems like something Big Hit doesn't shy away from, or more so encourages maybe. But a lot has been going on with Big Hit recently. One thing in particular that everyone was talking about is of course BTS's manager or BTS employee. This is just an alleged story because I don't actually see any actual evidence or proof anywhere online aside from just the pictures that are posted on social media. But what does that really mean? We don't know what's actually going on internally. And this information came from a netizen who posted something on a forum. So it can easily be made up or whatever, so we can take it as a grain of salt, but it's definitely a fun story to talk about. So I'm going to say this is alleged. Now let me catch you up if you don't know what is going on. Now with this particular story, everyone keeps saying BTS manager. Now I don't know if this is BTS's manager per se, because all these news sites keep saying it is. But then they also go on to say that the guy mentioned how he is tired from driving all day and driving BTS's van. So is he a manager or is he a van driver? Because usually managers don't drive the van. But anyway, let's get into the story. Basically this guy, let's just call him the manager. The manager started taking BTS's van and started using it for very personal reasons, like taking his girlfriend out. So obviously he wanted to impress his girlfriend, and he lets his girlfriend sit in a celebrity van, have her moment. Now this goes without saying, this is probably against the rules. This obviously came to everyone's attention when the netizen posted something online on a forum, and the forum included pictures of the van, in which case a lot of people did recognize the van and said, hey, isn't that BTS's van? And then the pictures basically insinuating that the girl and the driver have been all around town in this van. My only issue with this, and in general I don't have an issue with this I think, is that the girlfriend should have definitely not posted about it. And it seemed like maybe she wanted to be in the van more than he did, because if he's driving the van all day, I don't think he sees the appeal of the van, if this is real anyway. Because it irks me that she's sitting in the back. There's a very obvious seat in the front where she could then sit next to the guy she's dating. But then she just sat in the back and posted pictures of everything. You gotta keep it a secret, hun, especially if you're in a celebrity van. BTS's van, you think people aren't gonna notice? They notice when BTS's hair is slightly out of place. Which, by the way, this doesn't look like a super bougie van. It looks like a van. This isn't like some luxe limo or whatever. Or at least it doesn't look like it in the photos, I could be wrong. The only thing that makes you feel like it's a bougie van is the fact that celebrities were in it. But really, is it worth it to risk all that just to feel bougie? Because the van doesn't look bougie. Like if you rented out an actual limo, people would actually think, oh, she's important. I thought that was just a funny story to talk about. I hope the van driver gets to keep his job. I don't think this is like a super bad thing. I hope, and I don't think this endangers BTS in any way. I feel like maybe this is kind of an honest lapse of judgment that maybe the manager had. Everyone knows I got plenty of lapse of judgment, but that doesn't mean I should get fired from every job I have. And dude, if you take the van out next time, just don't post about it. And then you Gucci. Apparently, according to Korea Boo and some other news sites, Big Hit is actually investigating and looking into this. I definitely wanted to see what people were saying online about this. One user wrote this: it's not even a big deal. And I agree, definitely not a huge deal, and definitely not enough for so many news sites to be talking about this. I'd feel so sad if he lost his job over this. Perhaps he could be left off with a warning, if anyone from Big Hit is watching this. And involving the thing that I kind of mentioned earlier that kind of irked me about the girlfriend, someone else actually agreed on this too. This person wrote, if the girl sitting in the back seat is the manager's girlfriend, why would she do that anyway? Like, she would have seated right next to the manager if they're in a relationship. It's just weird that she was in the back posting. I don't know, I'd love to hear a statement. Let me know what you think, and let me know what your thoughts are on this. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving your comments. As always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and kind of check out some of my stuff over there. Anything you can kind of contribute over there really does help me make better videos on here, so it helps me keep going, it helps me take my time with these videos, anything like that. So I really do appreciate anything you can contribute over there. You can also get exclusive content like music video reactions, ship reactions, performance reactions, all that stuff. You can also recommend things. There's also a lot of content on there already, so there's stuff to check out the moment you sign up. So I do appreciate you checking that out. I'll leave a link in the top of the description down below. There's also 2 videos that will pop up on the end of the screen on this video, so make sure you click on one of those, and I will see you over there. Bye.